What's your name, sir?
Eric Michael Damien.
Herrera?
Yes.
All right, I've got warrants for you on a shoplift case out of Justice Court from February of this year. I am going to release you, but I will note that you are in custody. So if the court wants to see you, they can see you. I'll set a court date of June 26th at 8:30. So if you're out of custody, come to Justice Court. Take care of that, all right? Okay.
Yes.
That's it then.
All right, go sit over there.
Your name?
Go sit down.
Judge's name?
Go sit down. Million.
Is Jill the one you're adding? Is that? Oh, okay. Okay. All right, what's your name, sir?
Arthur Gill.
All right, let's see. I'm seeing you on a warrant out of Pinellas Superior Court for failure to appear on it's an initial arrest warrant from November of 2022, dangerous drug possession, drug paraphernalia. And the court set a $3,000 bond on that one. So counsel looks like he's serving time anyway and on probation, so I should set a $3,000 bond and we'll review it July 16th at 9 o'clock.
Did you get a booster safe?
And I think that's all I need to do. No lawyers on this one. Okay, Mr. Gill, that's it. And you see Mr. Garcia is unavailable again, counsel?
I did not, but I was asked to continue it.
Yep. All right, and that's it, Mr. Gill. Oh, is the 6759 the interpreter? Yeah. Okay, okay.
That's right, Your Honor.
Okay, great, thank you.
I still have to get used to seeing you on a day that's not Sunday, Judge.
Yeah, I have to get used to coming. I like it. Last Sunday I had mornings and evening and I didn't show up for the morning until like 10 till, so.
Well, hopefully it was a light Sunday morning.
It was not, but I managed to get the butt through it pretty quickly. I was a little panicky when I got the call reminding me, but.
It's raising seats. New sir.
What's your name, sir?
Daniel Lee Harbet.
You're charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct. If I release you, I'm going to order you not to have any contact with the victim and not to return to his residence. Can you comply with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no acts of domestic violence, and you got to come back to Justice Court on June 26th at 10:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. Okay,
Okay.
release with those conditions.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So take a seat out there. I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah, Sergeant Sniggles, that's it. Yeah, figured out. Yeah, like,
What's your name, sir?
Desmond Alder.
Mr. Alder, you are charged, you have a petition to revoke your probation. The allegations that are on December 24th, you had law enforcement contact and failed to report to adult probation. On April 16th, you failed to live at a residence approved by adult probation. During the months of December, January, February, March, and April, you failed to participate in treatment. During the months of October, December, February, and March, you failed to submit to drug and alcohol testing. And on April 17th, you failed to appear for a review hearing. So I am going to hold you on a $2,500 bond, appoint the public defenders to represent you, and set your case for July 2nd at 1:30. If you post the bond, come in that day. Otherwise, I'll see you on video. All right, Mr. Alder? And that is it. Thank you.
Go. Go. You see it from the street.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Frank Jones.
Right. And are you waiving the reading of the charges, counsel?
Yes,
So what's Mr. Goodman asking for? A $5,000 bond in pretrial services. Did the defense want to be heard?
just briefly, Your Honor, he is 72. It does not appear, excuse me, that he is high on the failure to appear scale. He has lived in Tucson for 19 years. He stated that he's been homeless for the past 6, and he is currently not working. Pretrial Services was somehow able to verify this information. I would just note that while he has some similar priors, in his last conviction, he was placed on probation and seemed to do well with that support. I'm really just asking the court to consider again that he has been here for a long time. He is not currently working. So if there is a bond imposed, he would not be able to make that bond. So I'm asking the court to consider his indigency in setting bond if it will not release him to pretrial services.
All right. I am going to appoint Gary Grinkowitz to represent Mr. Jones. I am going to order him to report to the Pima County Sheriff's Department ID unit within 2 working days following his release. And I'm going to release him to pretrial services. So you need to stay in touch with pretrial services and with Mr. Grinkowitz, and you need to come back to court on July 7th at 1:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right, then I will release you, but you need to get to the sheriff's department and stay in touch with your attorney and stay in touch with pretrial.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
All right.
Lopez.
All right, here's our first Spanish speaker.
Your Honor, interpreter's on the phone.
Okay, great.
You see. There.
All right, so what is your name, sir?
Nombre, por
Esteban
favor, señor.
Lopez. Esteban Lopez.
All right,
Esteban Lopez.
you are charged with aggravated driving under aggravated driving under the influence of alcohol, and a domestic violence charge.
Muy bien, señor, se le acusa de manejar bajo los afectos, y es un cargo con agravantes, y también hay hay un cargo de violencia intrafamiliar.
And counsel, it looks like Mr. Lopez could be held without a bond, but the state is suggesting bonds on these amounts. Do you agree?
Y, licenciados, parece que el señor López podría estar detenido sin fianza, pero parece que la fiscalía está pidiendo una fianza. ¿Están de acuerdo o cómo es la cosa?
One moment, Your Honor.
Un segundo, su señoría.
Yes, I do agree based on the information that I was given.
Okay.
This is the interpreter. I'm sorry if the interpreter could have repetition on that. I do agree probation, and then I didn't get the rest.
I said I do agree based on the information I see.
Estoy de acuerdo en base a la información que estoy viendo.
All right. So, sir, on the driving under the influence charge, I'm going to appoint the legal defender to represent you.
Muy bien, señor. En cuanto al cargo de manejar bajo los afectos con agravantes, voy a nombrar la oficina del defensor legal para representarlo.
I'm going to order you not to drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to hold you on a $10,000 bond.
Voy a ordenar que usted no maneje sin licencia vigente, válida, que no use nada de drogas ni tampoco alcohol, y voy a detenerlo con una fianza de $1,000.
If the bond is posted, you will be released to report to pretrial services, so you have to do that.
Y usted si paga la fianza, lo van a dejar en libertad bajo los servicios, bajo la supervisión de servicios previos a juicio, y tendría que reportarse con ellos.
And your next court date will be June 26th at 1:30.
La próxima audiencia se celebrará el 26 de junio a la 1:30 de la tarde.
On your domestic violence assault case, I will appoint the legal defender to represent you.
Bueno, en cuanto al caso que tiene que ver con agresión y cae bajo la categoría de violencia intrafamiliar, también estoy nombrando a la oficina del defensor legal para representarlo.
No contact with the victim, no return to her residence, no acts of domestic violence.
Nada de las condiciones de libertad, que no puede tener contacto con la víctima, que no puede regresar a la casa de ella y tampoco puede hacer nada de violencia intrafamiliar.
I'm going to hold you on a $75,000 bond. If it's posted, you report to pretrial services.
Y en este caso la fianza se va a fijar en 7,500, y si se deposita la fianza tendría que también reportarse con servicios previos a juicio.
And your next court date will be June 26th at 1:30 also.
Y en cuanto a este segundo caso, su próxima audiencia será en la misma fecha, el 26 de junio a la 1:30 de la tarde.
And that's it, sir.
Y ya con eso, señor, se puede retirar.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What's your name, sir?
Robert Walker?
All right, you're charged with misconduct involving weapons, prohibited possession and possession of a firearm. Counsel, the state's asking for a $7,500 bond. Did you want to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm asking for pretrial services release. He's 49 and he's a lifelong resident. He's currently unemployed. However, pretrial services was able to get in contact with his father. His father lives in town and can provide support. His priors are quite old. They are his last one is nearly 20 years old. And in this event, the allegations are not violent. The allegations are that he sold a pistol when he wasn't supposed to because he's a prohibited possessor. So for all of those reasons, Your Honor, I am asking for just pretrial services release.
No, for sir.
I'm going to appoint the legal defender's office to represent Mr. Walker. I am going to order him not to possess any firearms or any other weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm going to release you to pretrial, so you need to report to them and you need to come back to your preliminary hearing on July 7th at 1:30 or a warrant will issue for your arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm sorry, July what?
July 7th, you'll get more paperwork. Okay.
So.
Yep.
Thank you.
And Judge, on the 3 co-defendants, whether you release or hold, if they can have the same PH date on the 3 coming up, I believe.
Right.
I know there's a break in between, one of them, but Rubio, I believe Elkins and Martinez would get the same PH date.
Okay, right. I guess I'm wondering if they were smuggling puppies or what, but I guess it more because I don't dismiss anymore. I just find no probable cause, right? So it's kind of a meaningless thing, but we'll start with Mr. Rubio and see. Are you Mr. Rubio?
Yes.
¿Es usted el señor Rubio?
Sí.
You are
Yes.
charged with conspiracy to smuggle and transportation of narcotics from June 16th.
Se le acusa de confabulación y confabulación para traficar narcóticos del 16 de junio.
And Mr. Goodman, do you see my concerns about the probable cause in this one?
Señor Goodman, ¿usted ve mi preocupación en cuanto a motivo fundado en cuanto a este caso?
Your
Okay.
Honor, given that it's conspiracy, I would say it's a little different because conspiracy just requires an agreement and some sort of affirmative act amongst the participants here.
But doesn't it have
Su
to be
señoría,
do
como
something-
dado que es confabulación, yo diría que es un poco diferente. Lo único que hay que acordar, hay que probar es que había un acuerdo en cuanto a las acciones entre los individuos. I'm sorry, Your Honor, this is the interpreter. If Your Honor wouldn't mind repeating.
Yes, well, doesn't it have to be some kind of illegal thing that you're conspiring to do?
Pero no se requiere que sea alguna actividad ilícita que están confabulando para hacer.
Agreed. And I know that there was some paraphernalia found and there was the mention of renting the vehicle for money and going to pick up the backpack without the statement about not checking about what was inside of it.
Right.
Sé que hubo que se encontró unos arminículos que también hablaron sobre renta del vehículo y que iban a también recoger la maleta sin saber qué estaba adentro.
All right.
So again, okay, nothing to add further, Judge.
Okay.
No quiero agregar nada más.
Does defense want to be heard? It's a horrible little tiny probable cause victim.
El abogado defensora quiere hablar sobre motivo fundado.
Yeah, I was just reading through it. It is quite difficult to read.
Sí, estaba leyéndolo y sí es bastante difícil leerlo y voy a pausar para la intérprete.
I was going to ask for pretrial services release for Mr. Rubio.
Iba a pedir libertad con supervisión de servicios previos a juicio para el señor Rubio.
Okay.
I will call in addition to the court's concerns.
Okay.
Voy a también notar que además de las preocupaciones que tiene su señoría,
He is 35. He scores the lowest on the NCAA and FTA scales.
tiene 35 años y que que él salió en lo más bajo que se podía en las dos escalas para determinar riesgo.
He has no problems.
No tiene antecedentes penales.
He has been here for 10 years and maintains employment.
Tiene 10 años aquí y durante ese periodo siempre ha tenido trabajo.
He has a family and child services was able to connect with his wife.
Tiene familia y servicio supervisado juicio pudo comunicarse con su esposa.
So I am asking for pretrial release.
Por eso estoy pidiendo que usted le otorgue libertad bajo la supervisión del servicio supervisado juicio.
Okay. I will appoint the legal advocate's office.
Voy a nombrar en la oficina de los representantes legales.
I will order the defendant not to have any contact with the co-defendants, with the other people who were arrested.
Voy a ordenar que el acusado no tenga nada de contacto con los otros coacusados, con las otras personas que también fueron arrestadas.
No alcohol or illegal drugs, and I will release you to pretrial services, so you need to report to them.
Nada de bebida alcohólica ni tampoco drogas ilícitas y lo voy a dejar en libertad bajo la supervisión de servicios previos a juicio, lo cual quiere decir que usted necesita reportarse con ellos.
And your next court date will be July 7th at 1:30. If you don't appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest.
Próxima audiencia el 7 de julio a la 1:30. Si no comparece, se va a emitir una orden de arresto.
And that's it, sir.
Y ya con eso, señor, se puede retirar.
Thank you.
And yes, that prank was very, very, very small, Judge.
What was? Yeah, wasn't that terrible? Usually they blow it up again, but okay.
Okay, now we'll come back and see right now.
What's your name, sir?
Tyler James Castro DePont.
Okay, I've got a warrant for your arrest for failure to appear for initial appearance from an organized retail theft case from May 25th of this year. And the bond's $500 on the warrant. And I would say I'd go along with Mr. Goodman's recommendation of pretrial, except Mr. Castro DuPont has like a huge pile of failures to appear in city court too. So I just don't have any conviction that he will return if I release him to anyone. Counsel, do you want to be heard?
Judge, if I may be heard, I wasn't aware of that because the only thing that shows on the face sheet of pretrial services is the warrant and then one misdemeanor new paraphernalia charge. So
Yeah.
I had no clue that he had whatever other, failures to appears that exist in city court.
Yeah, we have like 8 dockets worth. Huh?
It's a bunch of consultants, which are set over obviously
Okay.
This has held full film.
Okay.
Then he was released, so he has like 8 consultants.
Okay. So yeah, he's got 8 pending cases basically. So.
Is there any chance I could say something?
So it's up to defense counsel, whatever you guys want to say.
Then, Judge, knowing the 8 cases, I would ask for that $500 bond amount.
Okay.
Then, since I wasn't aware of that fact.
Okay, Your Honor. We're ready.
Okay, go ahead.
So Your Honor, I was also going to ask for pretrial services release. His grandma Dorothy lives in Tucson. He has been contacting his mother, who would sort of help him coordinate him to his grandmother's. His grandmother lives off of Escalante and Evergreen, although he was able to provide with an address this evening. He is committed to getting into treatment and has had some time to think about it. Having been here for the last week or so. Again, this case was dismissed and filed. It was apparently sent to federal delivery, so we are asking the court to consider pretrial services release. However, if the court is inclined to hold him based on the information provided this evening, but just ask for a low amount.
Okay. I will appoint the legal advocate to represent Mr. Castro, order him not to go back to the incident location, no alcohol or illegal drugs, $500 bond, pretrial services if posted, and the arraignment is June 23rd at 1:30. And then what we've been doing on the misdemeanors, we have 8 of them. We're giving you a city public defender, Mr. Castro DuPont, and setting it for August 8th at 9 o'clock. If you are out of custody, come to court. If you're not out of custody, then your public defender will talk to you and see if you want to do something with these cases before that August 8th date, okay? And
All right.
that's it. Okay.
And Judge, did that include his new misdemeanor paraphernalia matter, or was
Yeah.
that just the 8 existing cases?
No, that included his new one.
Okay.
Oops. So actually it's 7 and this is 8. This makes 8. So. All right, we're done with Mr. DuPont.
Elkins.
And I think on the next 2, Judge, I don't think I need to be heard additionally based on your inclination.
Okay. All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Janae Elkins.
All right, you're charged with conspiracy to smuggle, possession of drug paraphernalia, and transportation of narcotics. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm going to order you not to have any contact with any of the co-defendants, the people that were arrested with you. No alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to release you to pretrial services, so you need to report to them and come back to court on July 7th at 1:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you are released.
Yes.
What's your name, sir?
Victor Martinez.
You're charged with conspiracy to smuggle and transportation of narcotics. I'm going to appoint the legal defender to represent you. I'm going to order you not to have any contact with any of your co-defendants, the people you were arrested with. No alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to release you to pretrial services, so you need to report to them and come back to court on July 7th at 1:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes.
And you're released with those conditions.
Thank you.
Well, take a seat. Miranda, just tell me if it's fine. Miranda. Yes.
All right, what's your name?
Amanda Radcliff.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Amanda, Miranda. All right, so Miss Radcliffe has a warrant out of Santa Cruz County Justice Court for theft of means of transportation, trafficking stolen property, and dangerous drug possession with $1,000 bond. And does it look like you have other things too holding her here? I feel like she might have.
This is Amanda Radcliffe.
So do you even argue for her, counsel?
Just briefly, Your Honor, I don't see any holds. It's my understanding that Mrs. Radcliff was unaware of the refiling. Pretrial Services was able to contact her father. She's 35. She's a lifelong resident. He can provide support. She is currently unemployed. I would just ask that the court consider releasing her so that she has an opportunity to take care of this. And that's all that I wanted to share. Is that a hold? Okay. The jail is informing me that he has a hold because of a Miranda probation violation. If that's the case, then I would just ask for low bond to be honest.
Okay. All right, then I will hold Ms. Radcliffe on that $1,000 bond on the warrant. And the review hearing will be June 23rd at 9 o'clock. So hopefully the Miranda case will be taken care of by then. And then she could be released to Nogales JP Court. So I will set it for June 23rd, 9 o'clock to review while you're in custody, ma'am. Then you also have a misdemeanor warrant out of Justice Court for shoplifting. And it looks like you're already, or did I do this part?
Push that warrant for, I was supposed to go to court tomorrow for it.
Yeah. Can I just can I leave it set for tomorrow, Alma, since you guys change it? No, it's still set for tomorrow, I think. Yeah. Yeah. And your attorney is Caitlin Waters. So I will leave it for tomorrow and note that you have this new hold so that everybody knows that, but I will still leave it as
Not on probation.
and then
What time is it?
it's at 1 o'clock. I'm trying to note for that minute entry that she's got an out of county hold and the Miranda hold, so everybody knows what's going on with her. And on this one, I'm just going to release her, but let her be seen tomorrow. So with Caitlin Waters as your attorney. Okay, ma'am? Okay.
Miranda. We'll take a seat back there with the females down the stairs.
What's your name?
James Miranda.
All right, you are charged from October 4th of last year with trespassing. And the state's asking for a $10,000 bond. And Mr. Goodman, did you realize that this was from last year, that this was older when you asked for that bond?
Well, the date wasn't as concerned to me. It was more of the factual allegations of, from what I recall in the interim, and I'll pull it up, of not residing there and forcing himself into the residence and chasing the occupant out of it. So whether it was, some time ago or today, to me, that jives more with some form of ag assault entering residence and in some form of a burglary. I would imagine the charges would change in the grand jury process, but again, it was more of the facts, not the timing, Judge, of what happened here.
Okay. All right, counsel, did you want to be heard on the bond?
Your Honor, I do want to note that, as the court mentioned, this is from last year. The allegations are that he entered I believe somewhere that he used to live, but appears to have been out of trouble. I suppose for the most part, since aside from these misdemeanors that we'll address. But he was assessed at a level 1. This was assessed as a non-violent. He's 42. low on the scales. He's a longtime resident. He is currently unemployed, and he just has one prior. It's an unrelated conviction, or I suppose different, from 2013. For those reasons, Your Honor, I am asking for pretrial services release.
Okay. All right. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Miranda. Order him not to return to the incident location from that trespass charge. No contact with the victims, no alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to release you to pretrial services. And your preliminary hearing is going to be July 7th at 1:30. If you don't appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest. You also have new charges of criminal damage and leaving the scene of an accident. So on that, I'm going to order you not to go back to the incident location. Don't drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And that is in city court. And your next court date is July 15th at 9 o'clock. If you don't appear, a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand? All right, then you're released on those.
Rodriguez.
What's your name, sir?
Jana Rodriguez now.
All right, you are charged with felony criminal damage and 2 counts of endangerment. And Mr. Goodman is recommending pretrial, and I assume you'd be okay with that, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
I am going to appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Rodriguez, order him not to drive without a valid license, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and release you to pretrial services. So you need to report to them, sir, and then you need to come back to court on July 7th at 1:30, or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then you're released with those conditions. What's your name?
Pima Romero. May I add something before we start? May I speak briefly?
I suggest you ask her.
One moment, Your Honor.
And Judge, I believe on this one, as you saw, the misdemeanor DV is a part of the felony interim with the ag assault officer.
Yeah.
Okay, Your Honor, we're ready.
Okay, Ms. Romero, you are charged with aggravated assault, resisting arrest, and domestic violence disorderly conduct. And counsel, the state's asking for a $5,000 bond. Did you want to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. I just had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Romero. I would just ask the court to consider that she is 19 years old. She is low on the FTA scale. The victim representative stated that the alleged victim and Mrs. Romero do not live together. She, I believe, lives with her grandparents. She is a lifelong resident. There was no objection to her release from the victim representative. In speaking with Mrs. Romero, she understands that she has a bit of history. However, she has recently enrolled with Pope. She has an appointment on the 26th to pick up some, I think, meds related to her bipolar disorder. And she also is scheduled to start taking DB classes in the next couple of weeks. So, and she also has an 8-month son home that she lives with her parents. For those reasons, Your Honor, particularly given her age, her mental health, the no objection, we are asking for her release, or if the court is inclined to set a bond, just a low bond, given everything that we've shared.
Okay. I will appoint the legal advocate to represent Ms. Romero, but I'm considering the fact that she's already on probation for domestic violence, plus the way she behaved with the officers. That's dangerous. So I am going to hold her on $1,000 bond. Pretrial services have posted. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, continue mental health treatment. And if the bond's posted, report to pretrial services. And the next court date will be June 26th at 1:30 for a preliminary hearing.
And do we have to set a city court date for the misdemeanor?
No, it was all cited as part of the.
Okay.
Please make a call.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Okay, what's your name?
Cameron Brady Shaw.
All right, you're charged with 3 counts of fraudulent use of a credit card and conspiracy. And I guess Mr. Shaw has what pending that would make him eligible for no bond?
Your Honor, he's on I don't think the face sheet to the PTS report was correct. If you go to the criminal history, he's on felony probation for a local Pima County matter, and he is on felony release for a Santa Cruz County felony case that he was previously released on, I believe, even here locally, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
So counsel, in lieu of the no bond hold, Mr. Goodman is suggesting a $10,000 bond. Do you agree?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So I will hold Mr. Shaw on a $10,000 bond, release to pretrial services if posted, appoint the public defender, no contact with the alleged victims, no return to the incident locations, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and the preliminary hearing will be June 26th at 1:30. Thank you all.
And Judge,
I've been feeling like a victim, crying over a broken system, wishing I could trade my cards in for a new one. Money's tight and time is a commodity, a little bad luck and I'll cross the line of poverty. My car's dying and debts are compounding, swimming the line of treading water and drowning. But hey, it's all going to be fine. I put worries out my mind. Always must remind myself the struggle is divine. Society draws lines, but they are not how I'm defined. Relax and give it time. It's all going to be fine. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Truth is, I'm prone to depression, but a life spent coping has taught me a lesson. Happiness can't be bought or given, despite what is missing. It's a life worth living. A billion cells all working together as one. Create the warmth that you feel when you step into the sun. Our existence is a complete phenomenon, so whatever your stress pales in comparison. Live a life following where your heart leads you, not mimicking charades displayed on social media. Forget the values society feeds you. There's no right or wrong, there's just whatever completes you in a. It's all going to be fine. I put worries out my mind. I always must remind myself the struggle is divine. Society draws lines, but they are not how I'm defined. Relax and give it time. It's all going to be fine. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Yeah yeah. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Yeah, that's the one.